For those of you who watched the first video, you'll know that we're creating our first post. One of the little things that I wanted to show you a bit more about was on-page SEO, and that's the way we get Google to understand what it is we're trying to convey in the way of a message. It's different to what we're trying to tell people, it's actually what we're trying to tell a machine. And the machine has a certain way of looking at things, and that's what Google does. One of the little buttons you'll notice is this little thing called Get Keyword Winner Suggestions. That's actually a plugin. It's not a free plugin, but it is a very powerful plugin, and it's one that saves you a lot of work when you know how to use it. You'll notice our original title was How to Use WordPress, and that comes up here. By clicking this little button, Get Keyword Suggestions, you'll notice that when it comes to how to use WordPress, we've got to go and find 99 links to our page, and we've got 7 million competitors. Now, that's a fairly tough task, and that's going to take a number of years to actually get that done. So that's not something that we would necessarily try and title our page. It's too hard to get found by Google, and therefore all our hard work is a waste of time. So what we can do is we can fiddle around with this a little bit, and we can see if we can actually find a better title to use, one that's going to be easier to rank with Google and at the same time still get us good traffic. So let's try this as a, oops, spelling error. I've got to wait for the page to load now. I can't change it once it's loading. And each time I change it, I just hit enter, and that reloads the page and saves it. So, okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get Keyword Winner to go and have a little look through Google and see if it can come up with something better for us to use than what our original title was. Now, again, if we scroll down through here, you'll see that a beginner's guide to WordPress only has 8 links as the best page, or the best competition page that we have to compete with. There's only 8 links that we'd need to get. We'd actually need 9 to beat that. Google ranks pages according to popularity. It determines that a page is more popular if more pages from other websites link back to it. In this case, there's only 40,500 pages that are actually trying to rank for that title, and the top ranked page has 8 links. So that would be one we could rank for fairly quickly. However, it doesn't have a lot of traffic. So there's not much point in having a page 1 ranking to a term that nobody's really interested in. So this term here, WordPress tutorial, we only have to get 6 links. There's 1,500,000 competitors, which is stiff but not unheard of, and there's a lot of traffic to it. So if we were looking to rank this page over the next 6 to 12 months and weren't in a hurry for it, that would probably be our term, our best term. So I'm going to use that for the sake of our example. And then I'm going to go and show you a couple of other checks that we do while that's looking through that to actually see whether that keyword is a good idea or a bad idea. One of the free tools that Google has is the thing called Google AdWords, and it has a keyword tool for you to help you find better terms to use. So you can see a beginner's guide to WordPress has no competition but no real monthly searches, so it's not much use to us. On the other hand, WordPress tutorial has low competition, global searches of 165,000, and local, which means in my case Australian local searches, of 2,900 per month. In other words, if we were able to rank highly on that page, we would get a lot of free traffic directed to our page from Google. So one of the things you can then do is you can actually click on that and go to a Google search. Now, what this tells us is for the term WordPress tutorial, there are 70 million competing pages. That sounds daunting, and it perhaps is, but if we want to know how many pages actually use that specific term, we need to put parentheses around the word and research it. Now you'll see there's 2,200,000, which is again very stiff, and it coincides a little bit with what we found in our keyword tool, the keyword winner suggestions. So although this is a difficult term to rank, it's not impossible, and if we're using this website for a longer term gain, it's probably and certainly is a better title than what we first started with, which was how to use WordPress. So remember, then we're going to need to change all of the details down here. So we might start our title with so we have something like that. The other thing is to always double check with keyword winner with the new title that you have, because you may pop up something that is actually better. In this case, nothing springs to mind because tutorial WordPress theme doesn't really fit the subject that we're doing. So there's just a quick and simple way we can look at how keywords work. Remember, down here we need to change our focus keyword to WordPress tutorial. And again, each time you re-enter the information, just hit enter and that updates the page. And we need to regenerate our SEO title. Now again, for those who aren't sure what an SEO title is, that's this bit here in blue that you draw up when you do a search. And if it doesn't load, just do it manually. And then once again, remember to save our draft. And once we've done that, we can come down here and check to see that we've basically put it in all of the areas we need to. Our meta description, remember, we will also need to change. With a meta description, it's also important to realize doesn't have to make a great deal of sense. It can just be short sentences that basically describes how it is that your page is going to read to the user. So something like that. Down here it tells us we've got 42 characters left. In these descriptions here you actually get 162 characters that you can use them all up. Same with the title. If you go back and have a look at the title here, you will see that we can actually use 43 more characters. We've got 70 to use. So WordPress tutorial might read something like that. Simple to follow videos. Videos are good because everybody likes to watch things. Not so many people nowadays, particularly the younger generation, like to read things. Meta keywords, they're not so important anymore, but it won't hurt to add them. So again, just one word of caution. When you're entering meta keywords or a focus keyword, no capitals. in any of that. So again, remember to save your draft and not to publish, because again, we don't want to publish this yet for Google to come and find. We're still a work in progress. Next tutorial we'll actually go to putting some content in and show you how to optimize that.